The following may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Little Romelu, the hero, laid to rest. Overwhelmed with grief, the father of 2-year-old Romelu Amani Drakes had to be carried from the churchyard as a hearse was leaving with his son's body for the cemetery. But before that, inside Balmain Worship Center, Shion Drakes broke down in tears. The child's mother, Regine Phillip, wailed, and other relatives screamed during a video tribute for Romelu and the viewing of his body. While his grief-stricken mother was propped up by her relatives in front of his casket, his father sadly rolled a toy car on the transparent lid over his son's face. His father also placed a white rose on the lid. Romelu drowned at his speech therapy school in Cuba on March 16th. He would have turned 3 on April 23rd. He was his parents' only child. During the eulogy, his aunt Latoya Drakes recalled special moments in his short life, including his love for gospel music, noting that it was at this church that he was offered up at 7 months. She said he weighed 9.5 pounds at birth. At just 3 months, Romelu's parents noticed something remarkable. He was particularly very calm while listening to gospel music. Romelu loved praising God, so he became very excited when listening to the praise songs. She said his parents' families were firm believers in Christ, and as he began to grow older, he hummed perfectly in time to each and every beat, and we began to hear more and more words being uttered as God used him as his mouthpiece to utter his praises. Telling mourners that each song was centered around Romelu's life and conveyed a special lesson, she encouraged them to apply them into their lives in order to commemorate his perfect love, his mystical spirit, and his resounding presence. His aunt said Romelu had a lot of nicknames including Mel's, Melu, Popo, and Chunky Boy, but she said his dad named him after his favorite footballer Romelu, who plays for Manchester United. His aunt noted that his name also meant mountain, or God's blessing. Anyone who had an encounter at some point during the life of this baby would all agree that he has been God's mountain of blessing, and he is still affecting a lot of our lives today. Using the letters of his name to identify some of Romelu's special qualities, she said R stood for resilience and strength as he rarely got ill. O was for defying the odds and obstacles as his speech delay never kept him back. M meant his mother's prince. E, he was the emblem of his father's spirit. L was for his loving nature, and U was for unique. Romelu stood out from a crowd as a baby. He had big, curly golden hair. He had a wide-gapped smile and a very deep, raspy voice. Noting that his parents worked hard to ensure that he wanted for nothing, she said he was a budding footballer and loved Callaloo. His aunt said his death, however, had sensitized other children about the dangers of a swimming pool. Romelu continues to be a hero in his own right, as he continues to save the lives of other children, as he has now brought awareness to the dangers of swimming pools. In the sermon, Pastor Richard Mohammed encouraged relatives to seek comfort in God and take solace in knowing that he was with God and in the loving arms of his grandmother who died 12 years ago. Today, we may ask why, and we may not understand. Only time will reveal a lot of things about the passing of our baby Romelu, but the power of God is here to sustain us, he added. Looking on as the casket was placed in the hearse after the service, his father became too weak to stand and was carried in his friend's arms to a nearby vehicle. Little Romelu was laid to rest at the Praise Cemetery.